Students, today we are going to see Geography Unit 2, Weather and Climate. Today we are going to see weather and climate. In these lessons, the learning objective is to understand and the importance of weather and climate. To learn about the nature of the elements of weather and climate, to know the instruments used for measuring weather elements, to be able to recognize the kind of weather and climate of the place. So we are going to learn about the weather and the climate. First of all, we have to know the meaning of the weather and the climate and difference between the weather and the climate. Then let us understand the lesson. So let us go for the lesson, children. Listen carefully and understand the lesson well.
Climate means what we expect. Weather means what we get. So now let's enter into our topic. So climate is one of the basic elements in the natural environment. It affects landforms, soil types, fauna and flora. It influences man to a large extent. So children, climate is one of the element in the environment and it has an impact over the landforms, soil types, fauna. Fauna means animal species. Flora means plant species. And also it affects the human beings. So now let's see an example which tells the difference between the weather and the climate. In a small village in Dharmaburi district, Tamil Nadu, during the May month, Yukta enjoys her vacation with her family members. She always wears cotton clothes. Her mother prepares food like porridge, buttermilk, lemonade and watermelon. She celebrates Christmas during winter. On the other hand, in Auckland is a place in New Zealand. During the May month, Tia is Yukta's friend. She enjoys her vacation with her family members. She always wears fleece, jacket, jeans, gloves and socks. And her mother will prepare her food like sandwich, salmon, oatmeal and soup. She celebrates Christmas during summer time. So children, now you may wonder that both are living on the same planet Earth, but they are experiencing the different conditions. So can you think of why? So the reason is both Yukta and Tia, so they live in two different hemispheres and have different way of life. This is because of the difference in weather condition of those places. So children, the weather and climate influences man's activities like what they eat, what they wear and the place or the house in which they live and the occupations. So children, from the examples of Yukta and Tia, you would have understood that both are living in two different hemispheres and they are following a different lifestyles according to the weather condition of the country. So the weather and the climate has an impact on the human life. So now, the Earth's atmosphere is a layer of gases surrounding the planet Earth and retained by the Earth's gravity. So the Earth's atmosphere is the different layer of gases. So now let's see about it. It consists of about 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, 0.97% of argon, 0.03% of carbon dioxide and 0.04 percentage of other traces of gases and water vapor. So children, the Earth's atmosphere consists of different layer of gases. So it consists of about 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen. So make a note of it. It may be asked in one word. Children, let's move on to the definition of weather. So what is a weather? A weather is a day-to-day conditions or the state of the atmosphere at any place as regards. So weather means it is a day-to-day condition. So it is a short period condition. So with regard to, first one is sunshine. Next, the temperature. So the weather is affected because of the temperature. Next is the cloud cover. So the weather depends on the cloud cover. Next is the wind. So the wind also determines the weather. Next, the fog condition. Then the air pressure. Then the humidity and the precipitation. So these are all the factors which determine the weather. So children, have you ever noticed during day the weather might be sunny with a clear sky? So during the daytime you may experience a sunny and a clear sky. But in the evening there might be rain. So on the same day, in the morning there might be sun and in the evening there might be rain. So the weather is a day-to-day condition and it changes often. And the weather is cool in winter. So during the winter time the weather will be very cool and it will be hot in summer. So during summer the weather is very hot. And children, have you ever noticed the person asking questions like whether today climate is good or bad? But it is completely incorrect. So the way of asking question whether the climate is good or bad is completely incorrect. So when you watch the news, they will say only weather forecast, not climate forecast. And even in the cricket match, they will publish a message like the cricket match has been postponed due to bad weather. So they will not put the message like postponed due to bad climate. So from this we can clearly understand that weather means it is a day-to-day condition. So it will change often. So as we have seen one example, in morning it will be sunny, whereas in evening it will be rainy. So weather means it will change often, whereas climate doesn't change often like weather. So now let's move on to the definition of climate. So what is a climate? A climate is generally defined as the average conditions of the weather of a place or a region. So weather means day-to-day condition, whereas climate means average condition of a particular place or a region. The average atmospheric conditions are determined by measuring the weather elements for a long period of time, which is usually for about 35 years. So the average atmospheric condition of a place is measured by the other weather elements. So usually around 35 years. The elements of weather and climate are same. So both the elements of weather and climate are same. The climate does not change often like weather. So the climate will not change often like weather. For example, hilly regions and all, you will experience a cold climate. So in the hilly regions, there will be a cold climate. So the climate is determined over a long period of time. That is usually around 35 years. So weather means day-to-day condition. So I hope you are clear with the distinguish between the weather and the climate. So children, now let's see. The word climate is derived from the ancient Greek word klimo. The word climate is derived from the ancient Greek word klimo, which means inclination. So make a note of it. The climate is derived from the Greek word klimo, which means inclination. So now let's move on to the controlling factors of weather and climate. So what are the factors that control the weather and climate of a place? So first one is the rays of the sun. So the angle of the sun rays it determines the weather and climate. Next is the duration of the day. The length of the daytime determines the climate and weather. Next is the distribution of land. And then the water bodies. Then the location and direction of mountain ranges. It determines the weather and climate of a place. Then the air pressure. Then the wind. The wind determines the weather of a place. Then the ocean currents. So children, these are all the major factors that affect the weather and climate of a particular region. So we all know that the earth is spherical in shape. So earth is spherical in shape. So what happens? So the sun rays falls unevenly on the earth's surface. So since the earth is spherical in shape and it is inclined, the sun rays falls unevenly on the surface, earth's surface. Since the sun rays falls unevenly on the earth's surface, the polar region, that is the North Pole and the South Pole, it receives the slanting rays of the sun. Whereas the equator, it receives the direct rays of the sun. So the sunlight strikes most directly on the equator, and just above and below the equator we will receive the moderate sun rays, and the North Pole and the South Pole will receive the slanting sun rays. So the difference in the temperature makes the air and water move in currents. So the warm air rises up and creates more space for air beneath, while the cool air settles down. So this creates the high pressure and low pressure in the atmosphere. So children, these are all the factors that controls the weather and climate. So children, the scientific study of weather is called meteorology, and the scientific study of climate is called climatology. So the study of weather is called meteorology and the study of climate is called climatology. So make a note of it. So now let's move on to the elements of weather and climate. So as we have seen earlier, the elements of weather and climate are same. So what are the elements? So first one is temperature, second rainfall, third pressure, fourth humidity, and finally wind. So these are all the elements of weather and climate. Temperature, rainfall, pressure, humidity and wind. So in today's session we are going to see only about the temperature. So today we are going to see only about temperature. So what is temperature? The temperature is one of the key elements of weather and climate. The earth and its atmosphere get heated from the sun through insolation. So insolation means the radiation of the sun. The degree of heat present in the air is termed as temperature. So what is temperature? Temperature means the degree of heat in the air. So the temperature varies with time due to changes in the level of radiation which reach the earth's surface. This is due to rotation, revolution and inclination of the earth's axis. So children, the temperature may vary. For example, morning it may be very high because of sun, and evening the temperature may cools down. It may go down. So it varies from time to time. So why such variation in temperature occurs means, first one is because of rotation. So rotation means what? The earth will spin along its own axis. So that is termed as rotation. Whereas revolution means the movement of the earth around the sun. So it is called revolution. So because of the rotation and revolution and the inclination of the earth axis, the temperature varies. So children, now let's see what are the factors that influence the temperature. So the temperature influences the first one is level of humidity. So humidity means the vapor content in the air. And second one is the process of evaporation, condensation and precipitation. So we all know that the water will get evaporated because of the sun's rays and it condense means cools down to form the clouds. Again the clouds will precipitate in the form of rain and returns to the earth. So the temperature influences the process of evaporation, condensation and precipitation. So transpiration means the water from the plants are evaporated. So that is called transpiration. So children, the temperature influences the level of humidity, then the process of evaporation, condensation and precipitation. Next, the heat energy from the solar radiation is received by the earth through three mechanisms. So the heat energy is received by the earth through three mechanisms. So now let's see it. The three mechanisms are radiation, conduction and convection. So the three mechanisms are radiation, conduction and convection. So radiation means what? The sun rays falls on the earth's surface and it eats the earth surface. So that is called radiation. So next one is conduction. So conduction means the ground will absorb most of this heat. The air that is directly touching the ground is warmed. So radiation means the sun rays enter the atmosphere and reaches the ground. Conduction means the ground will absorb the heat and the air that is directly touching the ground is warmed. Convection means the warmed air rises to a certain point, eventually it cools and begins to sink down. So that is called convection. So the radiations from the sun rays falls on the ground and the air which in contact with the sun rays will gets warmed up and it will rises to the atmosphere and it get cools down. So these are all the three mechanisms through which the heat energy is received by the earth. And the temperature varies both horizontally as well as vertically. The temperature decreases with increasing height. So as your height increases, the temperature will fall down. So as the height increase, the temperature will falls down. So this is known as lapse rate. So lapse rate means the temperature decreases with increasing height. So at the rate of 6.5 degrees Celsius per 1000 meters in the troposphere. So the temperature decreases at the rate of 6.5 degrees Celsius for every 1000 meters in the troposphere. So children, lapse rate means the temperature will decrease with increasing height. So now let's move on to the factors that affect the distribution of temperature. So what are the factors that affect the distribution of a temperature in a particular place? So first one is latitude. So latitude means what? The horizontal imaginary lines drawn on the globe is called latitude. Next one is the altitude. So altitude means the height, the highest altitude. Next is the nature of land. The nature of land is also the factors that affect the distribution of temperature. Next one is ocean currents, prevailing winds, the slope, the mountain slope, also one of the factors that affect the distribution of temperature. Then the shelter. Then the distance from the sea and the soil. So these are all the major factors which affect the distribution of temperature. So next we can move on to measuring the temperature. So how we can measure the temperature? So the temperature of a unit volume of air at a given time is measured in scales like Celsius, Fahrenheit, Kelvin. So the unit of temperature are Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin. So a meteorologist. So meteorologist means the person who forecasts the weather. So you would have seen in the news. So the meteorologist measures the temperature by using the thermometer and Stephenson screen. So Stephenson screen means it is a white wooden box as you see in the picture with lowers to shelter thermometers from direct heat of the sun and allow air circulation. So lowers means a shutter type of box. So it allows the air circulation and it protects the thermometers from the direct heat of the sun. So the meteorologist measures the temperature using the Stevenson screen or the maximum and minimum thermometer. The maximum and minimum by the outgoing radiation between 2 and 4 pm, and the minimum temperature is recorded around 4 am before the sunrise. So the maximum temperature is recorded between 2 and 4 pm and the minimum temperature is recorded around 4 am before the sunrise. So I hope you are clear how the temperature is measured. So now let's move on to mean temperature. So what is mean temperature? The average of maximum and minimum temperature within 24 hours is called mean daily temperature. So the average of maximum and minimum temperatures within 24 hours is called mean daily temperature. For example, let the maximum temperature be 87 degree Fahrenheit and the minimum temperature be 73 degree Fahrenheit. So now how you will calculate the mean daily temperature? Average of 2. So what is an average? Summation of the 2 divided by total number of terms. So 87 degree Fahrenheit plus 73 degree Fahrenheit divided by 2 gives the mean daily temperature, that is 80 degree Fahrenheit. So I hope you are clear how to calculate the mean daily temperature. So next is diurnal range of temperature. So it is the difference between the maximum and minimum temperatures of a day. So diurnal range of temperature is difference. Difference means what? Subtract the maximum from the minimum temperature of the day. Next is annual range of temperature. So annual means year. So it is a difference between the highest and the lowest mean monthly temperature of the year. So annual range of temperature is calculated by taking the difference between the highest and the lowest mean monthly temperature of the year. So next is about isotherms. So what are isotherms? The distribution of temperature is shown by means of isotherms. Isotherms are the imaginary lines which connect the same temperatures of different places. So isotherms are the imaginary lines which connect the same temperature of different places. For example, Bangalore and Chennai as the same temperature means the imaginary line is drawn connecting the Bangalore and the Chennai. So this is called isotherms. So similarly, there are lot of isolines. So the distribution of weather elements are shown by means of isolines on map. So the isolines are those which join the places of equal values. So isolines are the imaginary lines that join the places of equal values. Isolines are given different names based on the weather element they represent. So they are given different names based on the weather element. So now let's see what are the kinds of isolines. First one is isotherm. So as I said before, isotherm means it is the imaginary line that connect the places having the equal temperature. So isotherm means equal temperature. Next is isochron. So isochron is the imaginary lines that connect the places having the equal lowest mean temperature for a specific period. Next is isohel. Isohel means it is a imaginary line that connect the places having the equal sunshine. Then isolobar. So it connects the places having equal pressure tendency showing similar changes over a given time. Next is isohyet. So it connects the places having equal amount of rainfall. So children, these are all the different types of isolines. So isolines means imaginary lines that connect the places having the same values depending upon the weather elements. So first is isotherm means equal temperature, isochron means equal lowest mean temperature, isohel means equal sunshine, isolobar means equal pressure, isohyet means equal amount of rainfall. So make a note of it. So now let's move on to each zones of the earth. The fact that the earth is spherical in shape, it results in different parts of the earth getting heated up differently. So children, first one is torrid zone. So the region between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So the torrid zone is the region between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. This region receives the direct rays of the sun and gets the maximum heat from the sun. Since the earth axis is inclined, the sun's rays falls directly on the equator. So the region between the Tropic of Cancer and the Capricorn will receive the maximum heat from the sun. So children, look at this picture. The earth is inclined. So the sun rays falls directly on the equator. So the regions that is above the equator and below the equator, that is between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, receives the maximum level of heat. So this zone is also known as torrid zone or tropical zone. So next, move on to temperate zone. So this zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere. So between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, and between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. So children, the temperate zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, and Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. This zone gets the slanting rays of the sun, and the angle of the sun's rays goes on decreasing towards the pole. Thus, this zone experiences moderate temperature. Children, look at this picture. The sun's rays will fall slantingly in the temperate zone. So, it receives a moderate temperature. So, the region between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the north and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the south is known as temperate zone, and it receives a moderate temperature. So, now let's move on to frigid zone. So, the frigid zone lies between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere. So, this region is also known as polar region since it receives extremely low temperature throughout the year. These regions are covered with snow. So, as you all know, the sun's rays will be low at the poles. So, it is covered with snow, and it is also known as polar region. So, these are all the 3 heat zones on the earth. So, I hope you are clear with this. So, children, do you know the highest ever temperature recorded on earth is 56.7 degrees Celsius or 134 degree Fahrenheit. It was recorded on 10th July 1913 at Greenland Ranch of Death Valley, California, USA. So, make a note of it. And the lowest ever temperature recorded on the earth is minus 89.2 degrees Celsius or minus 128.6 degree Fahrenheit or 184.0 degree Kelvin. So, K means Kelvin. It was recorded on 21st July 1983 at Soviet Vostok Station in Antarctica. So, children, make a note of this. The highest temperature recorded as well as the lowest temperature recorded on the earth. So, I hope you are clear with today's session about the difference between the temperature and the climate and the factors affecting the temperature and climate. So, now let's see some textbook pages related to it. So, first is the introduction. So, we have seen one example of Yukta and Tia. Next, we have seen about the definition of weather. Weather means day-to-day conditions of the atmosphere at any place as regards to sunshine, temperature, cloud cover, wind, fog condition, air pressure, humidity, precipitation and other such elements. Then we have seen about the percentage of gases in the atmosphere. 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen. Next, we have seen that it should be said only the weather is good or bad. We should not say the climate is good or bad. It is incorrect because the weather refers to day-to-day condition. So, whereas the climate refers to average condition. So, next we have seen about the study of weather is called meteorology and climate is called climatology. Then the elements of weather and climate. So, temperature. So, temperature means what? The degree of heat in the atmosphere. So, next we have seen about the different types of ISO lines which I have explained you. So, next we have seen about the factors affecting the distribution of temperature. that is latitude, altitude, nature of land, ocean currents, winds, slope, shelter, distance from sea, etc. Then I have told that the temperature varies both horizontally and vertically. The temperature decreases with increasing height is known as lapse rate. Then we have seen about the measuring temperature. So the unit is Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin. So Stephenson screen and minimum and maximum thermometer is used to measure the temperature. Next, we have seen about how to calculate the mean daily temperature by taking the average of maximum and minimum temperature in a day, that is 24 hours. Then we have seen about the three zones: torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. Then the highest temperature ever recorded is 56.7 degrees Celsius and the lowest temperature ever recorded is minus 89.2 degrees Celsius. So
Now let us see the lesson recap. Weather is the day-to-day conditions of the atmosphere at any place. Climate is the average weather condition, state of a place for a long period, and it is usually for 35 years. Temperature, precipitations, pressure, humidity and wind are the major elements of the weather and climate. Temperature is the degree of heat present in the air. The weight of air above a given area on the Earth's surface is called atmospheric pressure and air pressure. Horizontal movement of the air is called wind. So we have completed our lessons here. Thank you, children.